The sun has not yet touched the horizon, and you are already standing at a precipice that will determine the next 24 hours of your existence. In the next 10 seconds, I am going to offer you a pact. If you commit to the words in this video, you will effectively execute the weak, reactive version of yourself and install the firmware of a conqueror. If you turn away now, you are choosing to remain a ghost, a mere passenger in a life that is being driven by algorithms and other people's opinions. The choice is yours. But remember, the cost of inaction is the slow decay of your potential. Most people wake up and immediately surrender their sovereignty to a piece of glass and silicon. They reach for their phones before they have even greeted their own consciousness, allowing the chaos of the world to colonize their minds. They let fear speak through news headlines. They let envy speak through social media. And they let anxiety speak through yesterday's mistakes. By the time their feet hit the floor, they have already lost the day because they gave away the morning. You are here because you are finished with that cycle of mental poverty. Words are far more than just vibration in the air or ink on a page. They are the seeds you plant in the fertile soil of your subconscious. And they act as the architects of the house you live in. The ancient Stoics, like Marcus Aurelius, understood this better than anyone in history. He ruled the Roman Empire, yet his most important victories were won in the quiet theater of his own mind. He believed that the happiness of your life depends entirely on the quality of your thoughts. And he was right. Modern science now confirms what these ancient philosophers knew 2,000 years ago. Neuroplasticity is the brain's incredible ability to reorganize itself by forming new neural pathways. Every time you repeat a specific thought, you are essentially paving a highway in your mind. If you feed your consciousness junk, your mind becomes a landfill. But if you nourish it with power, your mind becomes a fortress. Today, I am handing you 5 specific words that act as keys to unlock a mind that has been holding itself prisoner. These are not magic spells, and they will not work if you simply whisper them once and return to your old habits. But if you speak them with the authority of a VTV news anchor reporting the absolute truth, they will change you. They will rewire the patterns that have kept you stagnant and build a version of you that is calm, purposeful, and unstoppable. The first word of power you must master is choice. Specifically, the affirmation is, I choose my response. Life is guaranteed to hit you, often when you least expect it and in ways that feel deeply unfair. The question is never whether hardship will arrive at your door, but who gets to decide what that hardship means. When you wake up and say, I choose my response, you are claiming sovereignty over the only thing no one can ever take from you. Think back to the year 1940, when Viktor Frankl was stripped of everything in a concentration camp. In that darkness, he discovered that between a stimulus and a response, there is a tiny, sacred space. In that space lies our power to choose, and in that choice lies our growth and our freedom. Most people live their lives without ever entering that space, reacting like puppets to every tug on their strings. When your phone buzzes with an annoying message or your car breaks down, you stand at a crossroads. One path leads to automatic, helpless reaction, where you let frustration ruin your entire afternoon. The other path, the path of the Stoic, leads to a conscious decision. By starting your morning with these words, you are training your brain to pause. You are reminding yourself that you are the author of your story, not a character being written by external events. This is not about suppressing your emotions or pretending that everything is fine when the world is burning. It is about recognizing that your internal peace is your responsibility and yours alone. Epictetus, who was born into slavery, taught that we do not control what happens to us, but we absolutely control our judgment of it. When you waste energy trying to control the weather or other people's opinions, you become weak and brittle. But when you focus on your response, you become a force of nature. The second word you must integrate into your soul is growth. The phrase is, growth lives here. Most people spend their entire lives running away from discomfort because they believe that comfort equals happiness. But in reality, comfort is where dreams go to die, and potential is buried under the weight of mediocrity. The moment you feel stretched, the moment you feel that sharp sting of anxiety before a challenge, that is not a signal to retreat. The Stoics had a concept called amor fati, which means a love of fate. It is not just about tolerating what happens to you, but embracing it as necessary fuel for your evolution. Seneca famously wrote that difficulties strengthen the mind, just as labor strengthens the body. When you wake up and declare that growth lives here, you are changing your relationship with pain. You are telling your brain that the friction you feel is actually the sound of neural pathways forming. Imagine you are trying to learn a difficult new skill. In the year 2025, your first attempts are clumsy. Your ego feels bruised, and every instinct tells you to quit and go back to something easy. But because you started your morning with this word, you recognize that frustration for what it really is. It is not a sign of failure, but the feeling of your old self, making room for your new self. You stay in the discomfort because you know that the best things in life are on the other side of it. Growth also lives in the difficult conversations you've been avoiding and the boundaries you've been too afraid to set. When your heart races at the thought of standing up for yourself, remind yourself that growth lives in that fear. You are building a version of yourself that does not shrink from the world. You are becoming someone who understands that respecting yourself often means making others uncomfortable, and you are perfectly okay with that. The third word that must become your anchor is today. The affirmation is, today matters most. Humans are the only creatures that have mastered the art of living everywhere except in the present moment. We are haunted by the ghosts of the past and paralyzed by the shadows of the future. We replay a conversation from the year 2008 and wish we had said something different. Or we worry about a crisis in the year 2030 that may never happen. The Stoics were obsessed with the truth that today is the only canvas upon which you can actually paint. Marcus Aurelius reminded himself daily to confine himself to the present. This is not just flowery philosophy. It is a matter of strategic survival. When your attention is split between what was and what might be, you are operating at half capacity in the only moment that counts. You miss opportunities because your mind is in another decade. Think about the weight that presses down on your chest when you wake up, and think about everything you have to do this week. Your brain is trying to solve 5 days worth of problems in 1 minute, which is impossible and exhausting. When you say, today matters most, you are giving yourself permission to come home to this breath. You are not ignoring your responsibilities. You are simply choosing not to be crushed by them. You handle what is in front of you with total focus. Today is also the place where redemption lives. You cannot rewrite the chapters of your life that were penned in the year 2020, but you can write today differently. Seneca once wrote that we should begin at once to live and count each separate day as a separate life. Every morning is a rebirth, and every night is a completion. By winning today, you eventually win the decade. You become someone who is fully present, fully engaged, and fully alive. The fourth word you need to burn into your consciousness is enough. The phrase is, I am enough. For your entire life, the world has been whispering a lie to you. It tells you that you need to achieve more, earn more, and look better before you deserve peace. It tells you that your value is contingent on your productivity, and that your humanity is something you have to earn through struggle. This lie is a poison that has stolen years of joy from billions of people. Epictetus taught that our true nature and our capacity for reason are already complete within us. He said that a wise man is one who does not grieve for what he lacks, but rejoices in what he has. You already possess the fundamental tools to live a virtuous and meaningful life. You just forgot to look inward because you were too busy looking at the highlight reels of strangers. The treadmill of more never stops because the game is rigged to keep you chasing a moving finish line. When you say, "I am enough," you are stepping off that treadmill and reclaiming your worth. You are not claiming to be perfect or finished, but you are claiming wholeness. This shift changes everything. You stop performing for approval, and you stop twisting yourself into shapes that please others while betraying your own values. You start making decisions based on integrity rather than validation. Someone's disagreement no longer feels like a threat to your existence because their opinion does not define your enoughness. This word is your shield against the inner critic that picks apart your flaws in the mirror. That voice sounds like protection, but it is actually a parasite. When you declare that you are enough, you aren't silencing that critic forever, but you are choosing not to obey it. Your worth is not up for debate, and it is not determined by how you feel on your worst days. Even Marcus Aurelius, the most powerful man on earth in the year 161, had to remind himself that very little is needed to make a happy life. The fifth and final word that will set you free is release. The affirmation is, "I release control." Your hands are tired from gripping the wheel so tightly, and your mind is exhausted from trying to micromanage outcomes that were never yours to determine. You have been fighting a war against reality, trying to force life to follow a script that only you can see. The cost of this battle is your peace, your presence, and your health. One of the most foundational principles of Stoicism is the dichotomy of control. There are things that are up to us, and things that are not. Our opinions, intention, and actions are up to us. Almost everything else, the weather, the economy, the past, and other people's behavior, is not. When you try to control the uncontrollable, you become a slave to anxiety. But when you release control, you find a power that is far more potent than force. To release control is not to be passive or lazy. It is to distinguish between influence and control. You can influence your career by working hard and showing up with intention, but you cannot control whether you get the promotion. You can influence your health by eating well, but you cannot control the underlying biology. Once you have done your part, once you have put in your maximum effort, you must let go of the result. You must trust that you will be okay regardless of the outcome. Imagine you are waiting for a life-changing decision in the year 2025. You have done everything you can, yet you are still pacing the floor and losing sleep. By saying, "I release control," you are dropping the heavy burden of the future. You are accepting that the universe has its own timing and its own detours. Seneca wrote that luck is what happens when preparation meets opportunity. But he also knew that the timing of that meeting is not in our hands. By mastering these 5 words, you are building a new internal architecture. I choose my response. Growth lives here. Today matters most. I am enough. I release control. These are the 5 warning shots to the demons of your past and the 5 keys to the kingdom of your future. The Stoics did not forge these principles in times of luxury. They developed them in exile, in slavery, and in the chaos of war. They left us this map because they knew how hard it is to be human. You rewire your mind one morning at a time, one word at a time, and one choice at a time. There will be days when you forget, days when the old patterns of reactivity pull you back into the mud. That is not failure. It is simply part of the process. You do not need to be perfect. You only need to be committed. You need to wake up every single morning and speak to yourself like someone who actually deserves a beautiful and powerful life. These words are waiting for you tomorrow morning. They will not force themselves on you. And they will not work unless you do. But if you show up, if you speak them with the weight of absolute intention, they will change the trajectory of your existence. Your mind is always listening, waiting for its next set of instructions. The only question that remains is what you will tell it when the sun rises again. If this message has resonated with you, I want you to leave a comment below with the affirmation that you need the most right now. This simple act of public commitment is the first step in the rewiring process. Subscribe to this channel because we are building a community of people who refuse to settle for a mediocre inner life. Your transformation matters. Your growth matters. And most importantly, your mind is the only territory that truly belongs to you. Guard it well, for you are the architect of your own reality. Every second you spend in intentional thought is an investment in a future version of yourself that is stronger than you can currently imagine. Do not let this video just be another piece of digital noise. Let it be the turning point where you decided that your life was too important to be left to chance. The year 2025 can be the year you finally mastered yourself, or it can be just another year you survived. The power is in the words you choose. Stand tall and look at the day ahead, not as a series of problems to be managed, but as a training ground for your character. You have the wisdom of the emperors and the strength of the slaves who became teachers. You have the support of a community that is striving for the same heights. Most of all, you have the space between stimulus and response. Use it well, and you will find a peace that the world cannot give and the world cannot take away. As we conclude this report on the state of your inner world, remember that the most important news is not what is happening on the other side of the globe. The most important news is what is happening inside your mind right now. You are the editor, the anchor, and the audience. Make sure the story you are telling is one worth living. Goodbye for now, and I will see you in the quiet moments of your next morning victory. Go forth and be the architect of your own mind. For there is no greater empire to rule than the one that exists within. Your worth is not negotiable. Your response is your power. And your time is now. This is the end of the script, but the beginning of your new life. Take these words, make them your own, and never look back. The horizon is waiting for your light.